In our interconnected world, the generosity ecosystem is reshaping how we live. It's more than money. It's time, items, voice, and a shared purpose. A staggering 84% of people worldwide engaged in giving last year. Businesses are embracing generosity, sharing resources, and gaining competitive advantages. Countries like Kenya are leading in generosity, and younger generations are diversifying their contributions. In education, collaboration is creating thriving ecosystems. Companies like Microsoft are tracking generosity's impact, fostering innovation and efficiency. But challenges remain. In the United States, the decline in donors emphasizes the need to diversify the donor base. The future calls for collaborative giving, community engagement, and building a culture of generosity. The generosity ecosystem is a call to action. It's about mutual collaboration, clear purpose, and lasting positive change. Let's embrace the power of collaboration and inspire a generosity ecosystem that resonates with our shared humanity. Maggie, I love the idea of what you were talking about, that we need to shift our mindset, think differently. And this idea of a generosity ecosystem, of giving collaboratively and community engagement. Can you talk a little bit more about how do we execute a shift where we are changing, and is it like a muscle that we have to exercise?
I think so. I mean, we can talk to the doctor, but Dr. Love, but yeah, I think it's absolutely about changing the conversation, changing the questions that we ask. You know, what are there's just so much distraction right now, right? Like away from what's important, and just constantly coming back to heart, coming back to self, coming back to what matters. And I believe that we're going to get there. I believe that we will definitely get there. But it has to be something that with intention, that we work on, that we build in our children, that we build into the fabric of our communities. And it will take work and it will take effort. But it is 100% possible. Like I know that on a cellular level, having been in this work and working in community development for so long, it 100% works. It is effective and we can do it. We've seen that on smaller scales, and now we just have to build it into this generation and our time here.
Can I add a word of caution, Andy?
Sure.
I think we're listening to this are thinking, oh my gosh, what do I do? Right? Like, I've got so many things, so many people can use help. And do I help someone in Nepal? Do I go? I don't know anyone in Nepal. Do I go to a different community? How do I do this? I think it's a really simple formula that I recommend, which is using the word service. So when you meet someone, when I meet someone, I try to end every conversation with the word service. How can I be of service to you? And that is an act of generosity. It's an act of caring. If we get in the habit of just being of service to others, we develop that habit of care and compassion, and it opens us up to other kinds of opportunities. So just try that. Just try ending every conversation with service. So I'll try it with you, Andy. Andy, thank you so much for the invitation to be on. I want to be of service to you. Please call on me in the future if I can do something that would help you.
I love that you make it less scary or less intimidating. Because when we see natural disaster, right, in Maui, in Morocco, in California, like we see natural disaster and you feel like, oh my gosh, there's so many bad things happening in the world. I can't make a difference. And it goes back to what Maggie was saying about hope. Like you have to believe and have hope that even if you contribute a little bit, that it can make a difference and that it will make a difference. And the idea of asking, how can I be of service to you? It makes it very accessible. And it also makes it applicable to anyone that you're that you're walking across the street and you bump into somebody. How may I be of service to you? Or if you're at work, or if you're, riding a bike or playing a soccer game somewhere. It's a simple question that can actually make a difference. So thank you for that. James, your thoughts on this topic of collaborative giving, of community engagement, of working together?
Well, I absolutely love the way it's trended toward a discussion about service. And the reason I say that is because I've really been inspired by my kids' generation and how they are willing to wade into very challenging and large scale problems that the world faces. And a lot of that is because they've faced these challenges directly, whether that's a global pandemic, climate change, gun violence. They can see the big picture, and they are finding ways to connect to it and to be in service to that broader mission. And I've certainly seen it. Before Kaboom, I was at the federal agency that runs AmeriCorps and other national service programs. And service has been utilized as a tool for large scale change. Think about, whether you're thinking about like military service or Peace Corps or service in response to natural disasters. Service has the ability to bring people together in common pursuit of a large scale change objective. And that's really powerful. And I think what I'm seeing with my kids' generation is not only a willingness to dive in and tackle those big challenges, but an ability to do it effectively. And that gives me a lot of hope and a lot of reason for optimism.
Thank you for sharing that. I think if I can just quickly summarize some of the takeaways today. I heard that when we all do better, when everyone does better, I do better. So that is a great goal to have. We all win as a community. I love the idea of identifying people's superpowers and calling on those superpowers when needed. I loved Maggie's "there's no quick fix," that there are complex issues in this world and it takes hope and it takes effort. But if we keep working towards a goal, that you can get there. And hope is a big word. And I love that Dr. Love, gave us this gift of ask people how we can be of service. And it's a simple question, but one where we can make a difference. So thank you to the panelists for joining me this evening. I encourage all the inspired moneymakers out there. You can visit Dr. Paul Zak at pauljzak.com. Check out his books, Moral Molecule, Trust Factor, Immersion, which I just read. Maggie Doyne, you can find her at maggie-doyne.com or Blink Now. She wrote the book, Between the Mountain and the Sky, A Mother's Story of Love, Loss, Healing, and Hope. My 15-year-old daughter bought a signed copy with her own money because she did not want to share it with her siblings or her parents. So I thought that was really cool. And James Siegal, thank you. You can find more about James at kaboom.org. You can also listen to more of his story in episode 228 of Inspired Money. He talks about solving place-space inequity, his changing definition of success, and even touches upon crypto philanthropy. So thank you to Paul, Maggie, James. I really appreciate you guys sharing your insights and rearranging schedules. Please, everyone, join us again next week, Wednesday, September 20th from 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern. Our episode is about mindful money management, budgeting for success. We've got great episodes coming up. Please visit the panelists. Ask people how you can be of service. And until next week, do something that scares you because that's where the magic happens. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks.